Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, the city opens the much-anticipated one-stop permit center. We'll take you there. And waterwise gardening is more than just turning off your sprinklers. We'll show you how to conserve and have a green thumb. Plus, engaged couples want their dream wedding without breaking the bank. We'll tell you how they're doing it. Then the Torrance Block Party brings smiles and dancing in the downtown streets. These stories and much more just seconds away. Your local news starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. There's some mixed news on the employment front. A new report shows private payrolls added 179,000 jobs nationwide in April. That's lower than the 198,000 jobs economists had expected. But a separate report found that the service sector may be bouncing back. New jobs in this area grew for the 17th straight month in April. The service sector is a broad grouping of jobs that include retail, health, care, financial services, and construction. Nearly 90% of the nation's workforce works in a service job. Well, here are some highlights from the most recent City Council meeting. Municipal clerks have one of the oldest jobs in city government. They are the link between city officials, agencies, and departments and the residents. And since they have such important jobs, City Council proclaimed May 1st to the 7th Municipal Clerks Week. Clerks are impartial and serve in a non-political function. Sue Herbers has served as Torrance's elected city clerk since March 1994. Saturday, May 14th is Letter Carrier Food Drive Day in Torrance. Residents can participate by leaving non-perishable food items near their mailboxes on May 14th. Your local letter carrier will then pick it up on his daily route. The drive started 20 years ago with just 10 participating cities and has grown to include more than 1,400 cities. And if these faces look different from those you usually see on Tuesday nights, that's because they are actually 8th grade students. 22 students were selected from 900 applicants for Students in Government Day. They shadow different city officials, and the day culminates with them conducting a council meeting. And for these young men and women, after the experience, they may just choose a career in public service. Next week, we'll bring you a closer look at Students and Government Day. Torrance was the place to be for some exciting events recently. Edelbrock, one of the leading manufacturers of auto and motorcycle parts, has its headquarters in the city. Torrance is also the headquarters for an event that gets everyone revved up. Reporter Alexa Sita explains.
We started with an event of less than 100 cars in downtown Torrance, actually, and to date we've raised about $500,000. If it wasn't for this event, the school would not be here today.
And the school that will benefit from the Revved Up for Kids car show is right here in Torrance.
100% of the proceeds benefit the Center for Learning Unlimited. It's a small nonprofit school in our community that works with kids with complex challenges such as autism, Asperger's, high-functioning disorders.
This was definitely an event for car lovers. Visitors got revved up checking out the vintage vehicles and famous rides like Herbie the Love Bug. But if admiring the cars was only interesting to the older set, the folks at Edelbrock kept things interesting for younger guests. And now, with more than 400 cars, food, and entertainment, Revved Up for Kids is an event the South Bay races to come out for every year.
We rely on the community support, the support of our sponsors, our volunteers, and all that to make this happen.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Alexa Sita.
And for more information on the annual charity car show, go to revvedupforkids.com. For 26 years, Providence Little Company of Mary Hospital has held a fundraiser for children that adults love to attend. And two groups that work directly with South Bay kids were thrilled by this year's turnout at American Honda.
There's plenty of people here, there's plenty of food, plenty of drinks. It's a good time. There's a silent auction, lots of things going on. It's a great event to come to.
And that event is the annual For Our Children Food and Wine Festival. The event attracted nearly 800 guests who sipped wine from more than 50 different vineyards and beverage companies. Proceeds from ticket sales and the silent auction go to the Sandpipers. The organization provides educational funding for low-income students in the South Bay.
100% volunteer organization, and all the money that we raise goes directly back into the South Bay community.
And for the first time, Trinity Kids Care joined the festival. This is artwork created by some of their patients. The regional hospice provider is the only dedicated pediatric hospice in LA and Orange counties. And once again, American Honda served as the event sponsor. They also raffled off one of their newest hybrids.
This event would not be possible without their participation. Thank you, Honda.
This year's festival raised more than $150,000. If you didn't attend but still want to donate to these worthy causes, go to sandpipers.org or visit trinitycarehospice.org. The city's block party recently took over downtown Torrance, and there was dancing in the streets. Reporter Alexa Sita has the story.
The annual Torrance Block Party gave everyone something to cheer about. Some booths shared important information, some had products to sell, and others were just for fun. But at this party, it was the crowd that stood out most. Many of them danced, and lots of them smiled. Some did what was expected, while others did the unexpected.
Yeah, he just want to say hello? Say hello. Hello.
Maybe it was the food, or perhaps the beer. But whatever it was, adults got to be kids, kids got to be kids, and parents showed they enjoyed being parents. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Alexa Sita.
More than 10,000 locals were part of this year's party. For more information, go to torranceblockparty.org. And some good news for the Daily Breeze. This year, daily circulation for the South Bay newspaper is 66,355. Now, that's up 0.9% from last year. Sunday circulation rose 0.7%. Now, these may not sound like big increases, but in today's print media world, it's actually surprising. Last year, the average daily circulation for Southern California newspapers fell by nearly 5%. Spring is wedding season, and coming up we'll tell you why the wedding industry is still booming despite the slow economy. We'll also find out why getting a permit in Torrance has never been easier.
Look around you. 1 in 4 kids in the U.S. faces hunger. It's not always easy to see the signs, but in this land of plenty, there are kids that don't know where they will get their next meal. Join Share Our Strength in Food Network and take the pledge to end childhood hunger here in America by 2015. Learn how at NoKidHungry.org. Their next meal could come from you.
Will I always be working weekends just to stay out of debt?
Is a great college for our kids?
Out of the question?
Is the American dream
out of our reach?
Not if we can help it. We're the National Endowment for Financial Education, a non-profit organization dedicated to helping people just like you get smart about their money. Log on to smartaboutmoney.org today and start taking control of your financial life.
Most of us cringe at the idea of dealing with government bureaucracy, but here in Torrance, city officials are making one process much easier. Reporter Amy Davis takes us to the new One-Stop Permit Center.
We are here to see the new City of Torrance Permit Center open its doors for the first time to our community.
After more than a decade of planning, Torrance's new One-Stop Permit Center has finally opened its doors.
This is the accumulation of several years' worth of planning and construction to bring together all the development services associated with the city into one central location.
The new permit center should make it easy to get permits, unlike the hassle customers have gone through in the past, and having all of their permit needs in one office should do the trick.
Prior to the permitting center, we had 4 separate counters that were at 4 separate locations in the Civic Center, and people were always getting lost.
And aside from the confusing permit process, the building itself needed major work, but for architect Jeffrey Bolin, his finished work far exceeded his expectations.
The design really came together, and the city really came behind us and really put something really nice together, a lot nicer than was originally thought out.
With the remodeling process finished and the doors finally open, Mayor Scotto says he is excited for its future.
It was difficult, and it took a lot longer than we anticipated, but we finally got it done. And you know, sometimes you have to wait for good things, and I'm hoping that the end result of this, that people will be very pleased knowing that you just have to go one place.
So if you need building permits, business permits, or even to pay your parking tickets, the One Stop Permit Center offers them all. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Amy Davis.
You can find the new One Stop Permit Center at the east end of City Hall next to Maple Street. And like other City of Torrance offices, the Permit Center will be open 5 days a week, every other week, and closed on alternate Fridays. Most brides dream about their big day, but in today's economy, reality can make wedding planning a challenge. Reporter Leah Uko learns more at a wedding fair held at the Torrance Cultural Arts Center.
Regardless of income, couples are still having their dream wedding, but nowadays it's with a realistic price tag.
They want to make sure, you know, everything is looking good financially. They don't want to jump into something and then jump into a financial hole.
The Wedding and Special Events Association, or WSEA, is hosting the wedding fair. Vendors showcase their products to newly engaged couples with enough to spend but not splurge on their special day.
Long-range planning for a wedding is difficult for some families.
Glamour, food, decor, and music are all on display. The beauty and gown booths are still the most popular, but vendors are surprised to see brides decreasing their spending cap rather than going over.
It used to be that when I first started about 5 years ago, you could get a girl whose budget was $1,500 to maybe look to go $2,000, $2,500. But when the economy crunch hit, really, if they said $1,500 meant $1,500, and really they'd rather stay under $1,000.
Bride-to-be Krista Maggard came to price flowers and cake, but still plans to cut back in other areas.
Invitations, save the dates, that sort of thing, I'll do myself.
Whether the spending cap is lavish or conservative, the economy booming or losing, these brides say the show must still go on.
Life doesn't stop. We still want to have a family, and we don't want to be 50 when we start doing that. So, yeah, wedding, economy or not, wedding will come.
New love will always blossom, and to the benefit of the bridal industry, couples will always celebrate their love with a wedding. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Leah Uko.
And one lucky couple won't have to worry about paying for their dream wedding. The Torrance Marriott recently announced the winner of their ultimate wedding experience, and Spotlight Torrance was there for all the excitement. Be sure to catch Spotlight Torrance every day at 1:30 and 7:30 p.m. Part of getting the economy back on track is getting people back to work. One organization is helping job seekers with a part of that process that's often overlooked. Reporter Amy Davis explains.
We have been helping people get back into the workforce with business clothes and helping them get a second chance at getting a job and doing better with their life.
But for Close the Deal to continue to help low-income men and women dress for success, they need clothing and monetary donations. And their first fundraiser, Jazz and Cocktail Hour, hope to do just that. Aside from music and food, there were also poker matches, and all the winnings were donated to the organization.
He said, going for it. 15. Stay at 15.
Close the Deal always needs business clothing, but they want them donated in a specific way.
We need them on hangers and ready for someone to be able to pick them out and put them on and go out for a job interview.
And since their clothing inventory is limited, Close the Deal only gives to those who are committed to their job search.
You can't just walk in and say, okay, I need clothes, but we just want to know, are you really going to go out and get a job? Are you really ready to get a job?
But in today's economy, the nonprofit is finding it more difficult than ever to find donations.
The clothing drives we're doing, we're getting a lot less clothes. So I guess it shows people are not shopping, they're keeping their clothes. So it shows that everything is a difficult time for everybody.
At the end of the evening, raffle prizes were awarded to guests, and many of the goodies were donated from the likes of Ellen DeGeneres and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And more importantly, money was raised for an important cause that helps the economy, one blouse at a time. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Amy Davis.
And for more information, go to closethedeal.org. Even though the California drought is over, residents should still try to conserve water. And while watering your lawn less frequently can help, some suggest planting waterwise gardens. Reporter Jacqueline Shepard explains.
This plant is perfect for desert climates, and since each summer brings new record temperatures, it's no wonder California residents are starting to take notice.
Our water bill came an announcement that the Metropolitan Water District and the City of Torrance were sponsoring classes at Madrona Marsh on California-friendly gardens. And so my husband and I signed up and we went to the class, and we got inspired and hired gardeners to help us take out the grass.
Removing the grass is the first step for any homeowner wanting to achieve a water-wise garden. After that, you can let your imagination take over.
We wanted to do a kind of a rockscaping and kind of a rock garden to kind of eliminate the large lawn that we used to have.
Having a water-wise garden means more than just removing grass. It also means allowing Mother Nature to help whenever possible.
Look at the house. The roof is big going down both sides. All the water came off over there and poured out into the street. All the water came off over there, and after flooding our rooms a little bit, came over into the street, and something better could be done.
Right.
Now, with the big rain that we had in November, nothing ran off.
Instead, the Woods installed this system that allows them to store rainfall and reuse it to water their garden. And that hard work has paid off in a surprising way. Each of these homeowners are featured in the South Bay Waterwise Garden Tour. The self-guided tour is designed to allow South Bay residents an opportunity to see gardens firsthand that are using water-wise techniques and plants, not to mention getting some much-needed advice.
You have to have patience. It's taken 5 years to get some of these plants to this point. I have a Manzanita Austin Griffith over there. It was a 1-gallon plant when I bought it 5 years ago, and it's barely 2 feet now.
In addition to conserving water, a water-wise garden also helps homeowners save time.
I was out here every weekend or every other weekend and mowing the lawn, and it would be a big part of my day. And then we finally got a garden after that, but still it's like, well, I don't really want to pay for that.
Since switching to a water-wise garden, these homeowners have eliminated the need for a gardener and reduced their water consumption by 50%. But saving money isn't the only advantage.
Well, we weren't doing it for the water bill, really. We're doing it to save water as an idea. And water is a valuable resource, and we're trying to conserve it and use it again. It's useless if it goes down into the gutter and then it's lost.
That's not about the money. It's more about just doing the right thing and conserving our natural resources. I mean, that's important to me.
If doing the right thing isn't enough, Mother Nature will also provide some rewards of her own.
Kangaroo paw, and it really attracts a lot of birds, especially hummingbirds. You see a lot of hummingbirds around this time of year.
It's a lot of fun. It helps reduce, and it's amazing to see the monarchs and the butterflies.
There are 10 homes on the tour. More than half are in Torrance. It's hard work, but homeowners on the South Bay Waterwise Garden Tour hope their passion to conserve will inspire all who attend. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Jacqueline Shepard.
And there's still time to buy tickets for the South Bay Waterwise Garden Tour. That's on Sunday, May 15th. Visit their website to purchase tickets, and they'll email you a receipt and the starting location of the tour. Every year, 24 high school students get a behind-the-scenes look at what keeps local government and businesses running. The experience is designed to help shape the leaders of tomorrow. Reporter Jacqueline Shepard explains.
The 6th President of the United States, John Quincy Adams, once said, "If your actions inspired others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader." And that's what this is all about.
As these students graduate from the Torrance Junior Leadership Program, founders and advisors hope they are now inspired to lead others.
They got to see leadership in a number of different ways, and hopefully one of those ways will entice them to continue to be a leader.
Students involved in the Junior Leadership Program gain an inside look of the inner workings of Torrance, but more importantly, they learn the skills today to be the leaders of tomorrow.
Being in the program, I think, has helped me gain a lot of confidence, and I think I can definitely use that confidence throughout the rest of my life.
I think I definitely have a greater respect for City of Torrance, and I think I'm able to take more leadership opportunities and feel more confident.
During the program, students had an opportunity to meet with the mayor, fire and police chief, as well as other leaders in the city, giving them a better understanding of how each department brings the community together.
Overall, of course, again, we need the clubs to participate. This is a community event. And with only a couple of people, that's not a community. With a group of people, that is a community.
Completing the program meant missing class to meet with city leaders, but it gave students an insight not offered in any classroom.
It's been quite an experience to be able to get out of school for 4 days, and rather than sit in class, we could explore the city and everything it has to offer, and we've pretty much seen everything. So for that, I'd like to thank Ms. St. Hilaire. Where are you? Hi. Frank Scotto, thank you. And to everyone who helped put this thing together, it really means a lot. So thank you.
This year's graduates will take on a new leadership role very soon as they interview candidates for next year's Junior Leadership Program. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Jacqueline Shepard.
The Junior Leadership Program gives high school students throughout Torrance a competitive edge when applying for college and jobs. To find out how to apply for next year's program or to volunteer, contact Pat Sant at 310-346-6343. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you about a Sunday ride unlike any other.
Hi, I'm Jenny Garth. As a mom, there's nothing more important to me than seeing my kids smile. That's why I've teamed up with the American Association of Orthodontists to shine a light on the importance of a healthy, beautiful smile. We all want to look our best, and an attractive smile is part of it. Getting your child an orthodontic checkup can make a huge difference in their future. Orthodontists straighten teeth and jaws. And if braces are needed, today's hip models let kids sport their own personal style during treatment. To learn more, visit braces.org.
Our nation's future depends on what we do today to prepare our young people for productive and fulfilling lives. All of us need to get involved to help kids stay focused and stay in school. We must become a nation of graduates. One way for you to help is to volunteer as a mentor. Think of a mentor as a guide, someone who is there to listen, to offer encouragement, and to help a young person stay on the path to success. Each of our children has hopes and dreams for their future. Help them get there. Become a mentor.
On Sunday, May 15th, riders from all over Southern California will attend this year's Ride for Kids. The annual event helps raise money for children by taking them on the ride of their lives. While the ride always makes a powerful impact on riders and passengers, it also has an impact on commuters trying to get around the South Bay. Reporter Jacqueline Shepard explains.
Each year, riders make their way through Torrance to help raise money for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation.
It's a wonderful charity that helps fund medical research for childhood cancer, and it also helps fund scholarships for those kids that have survived a brain tumor.
More than 800 riders will participate in the Ride for Kids on Sunday, May 15th. For these children, it's sure to be a memorable day and a welcome break from their battle with cancer. But for commuters driving around the South Bay, it may pose some challenges.
The ride starts at 10 o'clock, and it leaves the American Honda National Headquarters at Torrance and Sartori. And we'll go westbound on Torrance all the way to Redondo Beach to Catalina. We'll take Catalina to the Esplanade to Avenue I through Riviera Village, and then back on the Pacific Coast Highway. And then it will take Palos Verdes Boulevard in through Palos Verdes, Rolling Hills, and then it will end up back in Torrance going northbound on Hawthorne Boulevard, crossing all the major intersections like Hawthorne, PCH, Sepulveda, Carson, and back to Torrance Boulevard. And then we will go back on Torrance Boulevard eastbound back to the American Honda facility.
Commuters can expect a 10 to 15-minute delay at most intersections along the route. Organizers and Torrance Police Department want to remind you to leave early and be patient.
We do get some complaints sometimes about it being an inconvenience and people are a little frustrated, but you just have to remember it is for a good cause. And a lot of money is raised for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, and it's 10 or 15 minutes out of your day. It's really not that much to ask for a charity event like this.
Each day, 10 kids are diagnosed with brain tumors or brain cancer. Within 5 years, 4 of those children will die. But just waiting at an intersection goes a long way to finding a cure.
As they're sitting at that traffic light waiting for this parade of motorcycles to go by, they're actually helping us raise $250,000 to help fund the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation.
More than 40 police officers will volunteer their time blocking intersections, directing traffic, and helping navigate riders through the city. And instead of waiting in traffic, organizers are hoping some commuters will make their way to the Honda Center and hear survivors speak about their battles against cancer.
The kids get up and they talk about how they have been fighting with brain cancer, or perhaps how they successfully fought brain cancer, what the foundation support meant to them. And some of them tell stories that are just incredible. They go through college, sometimes with scholarships from the foundation. And one gal graduated from UCLA a year or two ago, cum laude, and just, you know, an extraordinary individual.
When planning your Sunday drive on May 15th, make sure you leave 10 to 15 minutes early. And if you encounter a delay, just sit back, relax, and remember these riders are riding for the cure. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Jacqueline Shepard.
It's not too late to participate in this year's ride on May 15th, and monetary donations are always welcome. To find out more, visit larideforkids.org. And that's going to do it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.